Some prisons are meant to rehabilitate. These are built to break you. Today, we cover the top 5 most dangerous prisons on Earth. These prisons are notorious for their harsh conditions, extreme security measures, and the dangerous criminals they house. We're talking about places where the rules are different, where survival is a daily challenge, and where the line between order and chaos is incredibly thin. So, get ready to dive into these infamous institutions. Let's get started. First, we're heading to the United States, to a place called ADX Florence, also known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies. This is a supermax prison designed to hold the most dangerous criminals in the country. We're talking about terrorists, mob bosses, and folks like the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski. This place is Fort Knox level secure. The inmates are kept in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day with limited human contact. They have concrete beds, steel toilets, and everything is designed to prevent escape. The walls are thick, the fences are high, and there are motion sensors and cameras everywhere. No one has ever successfully escaped from ADX Florence, and it's easy to see why. It's a place designed to break the human spirit, to isolate and control the most dangerous individuals in society. It's a testament to the power of security. Next, we're traveling to Russia, to a place called Black Dolphin Prison. This is a maximum security prison, reserved for the most dangerous criminals in the country. Serial killers, terrorists, you name it. And it's called Black Dolphin because of a statue of a black dolphin made by the inmates that sits near the entrance. Isn't that cheerful? Anyway, this place is serious business. The security is so tight it's almost unbelievable. Inmates are kept in isolated cells and they're blindfolded whenever they're moved, so they never know where they are within the prison. Talk about disorienting. They're constantly under surveillance and their every move is controlled. They get very little human contact and the silence is deafening. It's designed to break them down, to strip them of their individuality, to make them completely dependent on the system. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? To be completely cut off from the world, lost in a maze of concrete and steel with no hope of escape. La Sabaneta Prison, a city of chaos. Our next stop is Venezuela, to La Sabaneta Prison. This place is, well, it's a mess. It's notoriously overcrowded, with thousands of inmates crammed into a space designed for a fraction of that number. And the conditions are horrific. Disease, malnutrition, and violence are rampant. But here's the crazy part. The inmates basically run the place. The guards have very little control and the gangs are in charge. They have their own rules, their own economy, their own system of justice. It's like a separate society within the prison walls. Some inmates even run businesses, like shops and illegal distilleries. Can you believe it? It's a chaotic, dangerous world where survival is a constant struggle. It's a place where the lines between right and wrong are blurred and where the strong prey on the weak. It's a sobering example of what can happen when the state loses control of its prisons. Next up, we're heading to Brazil, to a place called Carandiru Penitentiary. Now, this wasn't just any prison. It was once the largest prison in Latin America, housing thousands of inmates. And you know what they did to pass the time? They played soccer. Can you imagine? A full-blown soccer league inside the prison walls? Teams from different cell blocks would compete, and it was a huge deal. It's kind of amazing, right? In the midst of all the violence and despair, they found a way to bring a little joy, a little normalcy into their lives. But don't let the soccer fool you. Carandiru was a brutal place. Overcrowding, disease, and gang violence were rampant. The guards had little control, and the inmates basically ran the show. It was a powder keg waiting to explode, and in 1992, it did. A riot broke out, and the consequences were devastating. The police stormed the prison, and what followed was a massacre. Hundreds of inmates were killed, making it one of the deadliest prison riots in history. It's a tragic story, a reminder of the dark side of human nature, and the desperate conditions that can exist within prison walls. It's a story that needs to be told. San Pedro Prison, a tourist destination. Finally, we're going to Bolivia, to San Pedro Prison. This place is unique, to say the least. It's a self-governed prison, which means the inmates basically run the show. They have their own laws, their own economy, and even their own social structure. Families live inside with the inmates, and there are shops, restaurants, and even a hotel. It's become a bizarre tourist attraction, with people paying for guided tours of the prison. Can you imagine taking a vacation to a prison? It's a strange and fascinating place, a testament to human resilience and adaptability. But it's also a dangerous place, with its own share of violence and corruption. It's a complex and contradictory world, and it's definitely a place you won't soon forget. Thank you for watching our countdown of the top 5 most dangerous prisons in the world. I hope you found it as fascinating as I did. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dangerous and deadly content. Stay safe.